Hey everyone, it's Alvi here. These are the choices for your next 7 days. Pick a card, it's timeless, but also kind of tuning in to the energies of the next 7 days. So, from whenever you see this. So, we have group one here, and the stone that is on this group is goldstone, and also have this little foil heart as well, if that helps you choose. We also have Dalmation Jasper for group 2. And group 3, we have Snowflake Obsidian. So just sit quietly with the cards, choose whichever pile you're drawn to. If you're drawn to more than one pile, totally fine. If you're drawn to all of them, also totally fine. And I will catch you over there in the readings. Hi, it's Alvi here. This is Group 1's next 7 day guidance from the Pick a Card reading that I posted up on Facebook and Instagram yesterday. This is Group 1, so if you chose Goldstone, and for whatever reason I always want to say Sunstone, so that might mean something to you, and the little foil heart, you can see that. I found a bunch of them lying down near the waterfront when I went for a walk a while ago, and I just thought they were cute, but I also thought I'm not going to leave them there by the water so they can go into the water because we live near a fish nursery. So yeah, I picked them up and brought them home, and they just called to me for this group, so there you go. So this is your reading, Group 1. Sorry, babbling away here. Okay, so your first card is the Stars from the Lenormand deck, and then we have the Six of Swords. Wow, there's like you can see here there's a ship on the water where the stars are sort of shining over that ship, and then you've got here, she's in a boat getting sort of, this means like to move away from troubled waters kind of thing. So I feel just with these two cards that the guidance coming through is that you are being divinely guided to step away from this, like, these troubled waters. There's things coming to you, intuition and things like that, that are they're there to help you, and like your spirit team and your guides and your ancestors are kind of backing you, moving away from whatever sort of trouble or turbulence you've been going through. I'm going to read from the Lenormand book just to get a little bit more on the stars. I'm still learning the Lenormand a little bit, so I don't want to miss any messages that might be important to this group. Where are we? 14, 15, 16. The stars. The stars represent your wishes come true. So it's also about, your wishes of moving forward. These are lucky stars, so you can thank your lucky stars. These are just things that are coming to my head at the moment as I read this. So all things esoteric and magical. They are also divine guidance, purity, and clear vision. Direction and navigation are symbolized as is the north for the North Star. Because the North Star is the star to steer by. So it's kind of like being called back to your North Star, or to your north, to your true north. I think that's what I'm trying to say, to your true north. And the last card that we have on the pile is the, get tricked by these numbers, the Page of Wands. One day I'll learn all the Roman numerals. I do know them, it's just sometimes when they're out of context because they're just on a card, it's a bit of a thing. So let's have a little look or feel into this this message here. So this is kind of your guiding message, your underlying message is this, is that you're being divinely guided, and you're being led, and you're being protected as you move away from this difficult situation. So the Six of Swords is putting the past behind you. It's leaving, as I said, troubled waters. There is a bit of a like a theme going on with the boats and the water, so it just kind of feels like it's very emotional. It's something that was very emotional, it's very deep. but it's sort of coming to an end, and it's coming to an end in a way that's what's the word that I want to say, that's like it's coming to an end in a way that's really good for you. Beneficial. That's the way that's the word I'm trying to think of. So with the wands, the page of wands coming up as well, I feel like this is kind of like you're getting your power back, your own energy. Wands is very much about creativity, and it's about passion, and you know, that fiery energy. And I feel like this is kind of something that you might have been missing for a while, because all of the energy that you had was kind of going into healing and just managing, you know, this, getting across this rocky, bumpy road, or you know, getting through the storm, basically. And now that this sort of period is ending, and you're coming to the end of this, and you're being brought here by, you know, divine guidance. You're being brought here by your own intuition. You're being brought here by your ancestors. You're by your spirit team. Sorry. They said, and by people who you know who have passed, or maybe not recently, but you know, people who you love who are in the spirit world have been kind of helping you move that way as well. And this is kind of aligning to bring you back to this. I keep getting the word, when I see this, it's just this kundalini energy, like your creative spirit's coming back. You might feel like you have a lot of energy rushing through your body. You might feel really super sexual. That's something that people don't really talk about with the kundalini awakening and activations and stuff, is it can be quite sexual in a way. I also feel like you're just finding more passion for life. I feel like you're kind of plugging back into all the things that were, all the things that make you feel like you and give you this energy, this drive, and bring you back to who you truly are. I am going to pull some tarot cards from my favourite Lightseers deck. I know everybody seems to use this deck these days. It's weird. It's a trend, I guess, but I just like it. So we'll use that, and we'll pull some oracle cards to see what other messages we might have. And seeing it's for 7 days, we'll pull one card for each day. So the theme of your reading is moving away from troubled waters and kind of tapping back into this fiery energy that is your truth. And also, you know, feeling and tapping into this guidance from, you know, the energy realms, and knowing and remembering that you're safe and protected while you go through changes. Let's have a look here. Okay, so what are the messages? What are the messages for the next 7 days for group 1? There goes 1. Let's have a look. Alright, so we have celebration, the 4 of Wands. That's for this beginning of this week. Whoa, there goes another one. The Knight of Pentacles. Alright. Okay, let's have a look. Any more messages? More messages for group 1. Two came out then, so we have the 10 of Cups. This one came up reversed, if I can get it right. The camera messes me up sometimes. And then I have the 5 of Wands. Oh no, the 3 of Wands, because that was... maybe they're just all reversed. Yeah, and the 3 of Cups. Alright, so... feels like there's going to be a bit of a blockage midweek to the end of the week. It just means that there's a little bit of shadow work to be done here. And, you know, when isn't there, really? There's always something that you can dip into, that you can kind of look at from a detached perspective and maybe see how things can be done differently, or just, you know, working with your shadow to love yourself and heal yourself through whatever it is that comes up. I will try and clarify that after I pull the rest of these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any more messages weekend messages for group 1 next weekend. The devil. The devil, huh? I don't know, that devil's pretty hot. I'd take his hand and go with him. That's just me though, I like to dance with the devil. And one more message please for group 1. One more message for group 1. Oops, there goes one. Here we go. The 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Alrighty, let's have a look here. Okay, so beginning of the week, it kind of looks like the first message that came through with the 4 of Wands card is that it's time to sort of dance and let go a little bit more. There's another deck I've got, and the message that from that deck came through with this card, and it's like dance to change your vibration. So if you're feeling kind of dragged down, or if it's like the energy is affecting you, or you're feeling like you need to shift your vibration in some way and let go, maybe moving the body is a really good way to do that. There's like somatic movement now where you like shake and tap and all sorts of things. I haven't looked deeply into that, but I know that it does work very well. Or just like dancing, listening to music, doing fun things. This card it sort of represents stability. It can represent a relationship, or a proposal or something like that as well, but I don't feel like that is the message just for this group. This is more about finding stability in yourself and finding stability in your own life and your own vibration. So I feel like if you're anything like me and you're a hardcore empath and you feel everybody's energies and feelings and stuff all the time, and half the time you're like, who is that? Where is that coming from? They're giving you the message to dance, to move your body, go do something that's fun, that makes you kind of free, and let go of all of the heaviness that kind of falls down upon you as a sensitive person. Or even if you're just, feeling down or picking up on some collective energy as well, which wouldn't be surprising. I think there's like a shift going on, because there's always a shift going on, and sometimes I try not to look, because I think even though it's nice to know that everybody else is going through these things, sometimes it kind of works the other way and you're like, oh shit, there's a shift going on. Then you start feeling what everybody else is feeling, so you can choose to lift yourself above that as well. And maybe this is a little bit of that, forget it, just go out and dance. I've got that, is it Lady Gaga? Just dance. That's in my head as well. So maybe going out, going to a party, going to celebrate with friends, hang out with people that lift your spirits, that kind of thing. We also have for the beginning of the week, so like around Tuesday, maybe, well, the next 7 days, right? I keep getting that funky in my head, but so the first couple of days of these 7 days, I better put it that way, or I'll have people picking me up and saying, you said it was timeless. It is. It's just my human brain messing me up. So you've got this, the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a person who, or an energy who's sort of like planting seeds, but not from a very, like, let me just think, I'm trying to translate the picture that they've put in my head. So the Knight of Pentacles, he already knows what he's doing. So if you think about gardening, right, and the first time you ever grew something compared to if you were someone who's been planting and growing and harvesting things for years, you have a whole different perspective and a whole different knowledge of how things grow and what, how to fix things if they don't grow. I feel like this is like you're planting seeds in a way that is using the wisdom of the past, or the wisdom you've gained from the past. So these turbulent waters that you've been going through, and maybe like tapping in a little bit into, you know, making your wishes come true, and, you know, planting that energy with the knowledge of the fact that you know how to manifest and you know what it is that you want, and you're doing it. It's like a deliberate thing. It's not a, I'm just going to throw these seeds here and hope that they grow, and whatever grows I'm going to take it. It's a very deliberate and specific kind of energy, I feel. This could also talk about another person in your life who might be sort of leading you, showing you how to do this. Someone who might come into your life, or someone you already know who you may not have known had that knowledge, but somehow they're kind of bringing it to you now. That was a big channel. That's me and my sigh. I need a little bit of coffee. Excuse me for a minute. Try not to give myself a Belgian dip. I'm sitting here reading with froth on my nose. So the Ten of Cups, this is the middle of the week. It did come up reversed, so I'm feeling there's like 3 cards that have come up here, so this is sort of middle to end of your next 7 days, the week, naughty of your next 7 days. So we've got the Ten of Cups, but it's reversed, and we've got the Three of Cups, which is reversed, and the Three of Wands, which is also reversed. So this means that there's some shadows over these. These are energies that you want in your life, or energies that are preparing to come through, but there's also some shadow work perhaps, or some, you know, some integration of the ego that might need to happen for these cards to come round, you know, come round this way. Other than that, I am going to I know this seems really strange, but I'm going to dip into the book just for a quick peek, because they have like different meanings to normal tarot cards. So sometimes with the shadow seer, the shadow side of the books. Alright, let's have a look. 3. Come on. Finding them in here is hilarious. Okay, so the Three of Cups, I don't know why, but this is the one that I'm focusing on the most, right? The Three of Cups is the shadow seer. Meaning is a need to see the value you bring to a relationship, disputes or miscommunication. So you might be feeling left out, and sometimes maybe a love triangle or a need to make amends. So let's have a look here. We'll look at the Three of Wands as well. What is their shadow seer? Where are the wands in this book? There we go. Three of Wands, not dreaming big enough, fear of coming back up to block, fear coming back up to block your movement and delays. See, I knew I needed to read it that way. Okay, so normally I would go for a different meaning for that, but I was just intuitively called to this. So I feel like you're kind of experiencing issues within the family, or, you know, relationships, that maybe it's as I just read, maybe it's like recognizing what you're actually bringing to the table in these relationships, and you know, family dynamics and all that sort of stuff. I feel with the Ten of Cups, this is about family dynamics, and it could include, you know, a primary relationship as well. But I think that's all sort of intermingled, you know, like we are all part of a family who has more members than just 2. So this, I feel like, is kind of, you know, connecting to trouble with maybe children or brothers and sisters, or, you know, parents, and there is this kind of feeling of remembering, like, I feel like you might be feeling devalued in these kind of connections, in these kind of relationships, and doubting that what you bring to the table is, worthy, because sometimes when people are at the same place as you, they find it difficult to understand, like, what, they might not even recognize that you're bringing something to the table energetically or something like that. I know from my own experience, people who don't understand energy don't understand me in a lot of ways, because I do things very differently than most people, and I always have and I always will. But it can really trigger people if I don't, if I don't do things the way that they expect them to be done. And this is a kind of energy that is coming through, or maybe just people not getting their own way. That's my guides talking here. They're saying people aren't getting their own way, but this is because you're kind of dimming down your light. So you're not really, you're feeling, there's like a feeling of insecurity coming through about certain things. Not all things. I don't think, I don't feel like this group is insecure entirely. I think it's just these certain dynamics, these certain situations are making you feel like, you're on a bit of a wobble, and that does happen when you're being through this thing, the turbulent waters of change, and having to pack your bags and leave, or moving away from trouble, or wanting to move away from trouble as well, because sometimes it just looks like you're running, but you're actually not running. You know what you're doing. You know that sometimes you need to leave a situation to be able to heal from it, because you can't heal in it. And I feel like these kind of family dynamics, or this dynamic that's going on here with these cards, really comes down to self-appreciation, not dimming down your light, even when it gets rejected, even when people don't understand why you are the way you are, or they think that you're being harsh or too big for your boots or whatever. Like, sometimes people will be like that because they're not getting their own way, and we're all working with ego as well as, our higher selves. Or some people don't even work with their higher selves, they're only in their ego, especially when they don't get what they want. Because everybody's like that, unless you're very, very conscious. And even then, that ego can be a sneaky little bitch and come in and start throwing tantrums and being Veruca Salt. So what I feel for those 3 days towards the end of the week is that there's going to be some situations that are going to come up, where you're going to have to, go and sit with yourself and remember who you are and what you bring to the table, and maybe even just sort of like rewire and reframe these things so that you have the confidence to, stick up for yourself, or put your foot down in a certain way, or they're trying to say, what's the what? I love it when that happens too. So finding a resolution is going to require you to become bigger. And I don't mean like, that's a weird way to put it, but make your light bigger, to shine bigger, to dream bigger, to see from a higher perspective, or a more expanded perspective. And in that way you can see exactly what it is that needs to happen. And people might find it a little difficult at first, but I feel like that's how to resolve this. And when I pulled these cards out, I actually did intend that there would be a little bit of pointing towards shadow work that you might not notice. So I hope that is helpful to you. I will try and clarify this a little bit soon, but we're going to go into the weekend. So the devil, or that way, I think he was reversed. So it's sort of saying no to situations you might have not said no to in the past because you had an attachment. As you can see, like, there's a a little figure here, and he's sort of like a puppet. So it's kind of like someone pulling your strings in a way. The devil card can be that kind of energy. It's like, it's not necessarily someone, or it could be something, you know, like substances or situations that you know aren't good for you, but you go back to them anyway. I don't know why, but I'm getting a message coming through from my guides, and they're saying don't go back to that guy basically, or that person, you know, like that when you are lonely and you have the chance to go with somebody, you know, one night stand, that kind of thing, but you know that it's just, or go back into that relationship, you know deep down that it's not really the right thing for you to do, but at the time it might feel, you know, it might fill a hole, I guess. Excuse the pun, but you know what I mean. I meant an emotional hole, like stop you from feeling empty. It's probably a better way to put it. So it's saying that card coming up the way that it has come up is you will resist temptation, basically. This is about resisting temptation this weekend, or these, you know, at the end of the 7 days. One of these days I'll remember not to talk about weekends and weeks. So yeah, after all this shadow work, I feel like you will be in a place where you're stronger and more able to resist the temptation, whatever the temptation is that comes up, because there will be one. And rather than do that, you will decide to just like focus on your own energy and growing your own stuff, and, you know, growing your own whatever it is that makes you happy. Putting the roots down for things that you know are going to blossom in the future. Investing, but basically just putting the work in, like on yourself or your family, or, you know, those things that mean a lot to you, your business, all of those kinds of things. So hopefully that has given you a little bit of a looky. I'm gonna pull some oracle cards. Let's have a look. I might do the healing with the fairies. I feel like we need some healing cards after after that. That feels like a healing card necessity. So what messages do the fairies have for group 1? I feel like there's a lot of really good energy here. I just feel like this is sort of a period of integration, because sometimes when you are going through a thing, this turbulent water, you kind of forget. You step back out of who you are so that you can, you know, heal and deal and all of that stuff. But now it's the kind of like this tentative stepping through into the next level, and when you step into the next level, sometimes you don't feel as confident as you did, you know, as you would if you'd done it before. It's like the beginner's mind kind of energy coming through. Let's have a look. We're just looking for some messages from the fairies, and that will be the end of this reading. Don't forget to put a like, you know, thumbs up, write me a comment if you wish. Let me know that you liked the reading, or if there was something about it you didn't like, or you know, I'm open to constructive criticism. Let's have a look here. Oh, here we go. Alright, so we have happily ever after and financial flow have come up here. So, let's have a look. One more card, please, for group 1. Right. So, looking, they've given me a couple of extra cards and I haven't got anywhere to put this deck, so I'm just going to put it on my lap. Alright, so they've given me 3 extra cards here. I feel like with these cards coming up, this situation has to do with money and finances. It could be to do with business. It could be to do with investing money. Oh no, there goes my light. Oh well, never mind. My light's gone out. What was I just saying? No kidding. Dreams coming true has come up again. So there's something that you are, you've been aiming for, something that you're looking forward to, something that's like, is very important to you. It might be a heartfelt desire, or something that your soul's leading to you, part of your soul path that is going to, they're telling you that, your dreams are coming true. If it's come up twice in a reading, definitely dreams are coming true. It may not be that they fully, eventuate in the next 7 days, but you will be seeing signs. That's what I'm getting here. So, financial flow and happily ever after. This kind of ties in, I feel, with so the Knight of Pentacles, who comes up at the beginning of the week, could also be like receiving money, a windfall. I'm just looking at, he's kind of like dropping, I'll show you the picture. As he walks along, he's dropping money. So this could be something that you invested in previously and you're getting, what's the word? Jeez. You're seeing like your investments, you're seeing that you made wise investments and that things are like, damn, my brain's not working at all. That things are multiplying, like you're able to, you're getting rewards. Thank you, brain. You're getting rewards for what you've been doing, okay? And I do feel like this is financial, with financial flow coming up. I feel like it's going to kind of lead you to happily ever after and dreams coming true. But as we discussed, there is a little bit of shadow work that's going to come up as part of this being able to, fully manifest these dreams. And it might take a little bit longer than, the next 7 days. Peace of mind. So this is a good indication that whatever comes up during the week that causes you to need to integrate ego or rethink and reframe your trajectory and the way that you are like expressing yourself, and making sure that you're actually able and confident enough to step into your light and fully embody who you truly are, instead of just kind of stepping back and letting people push you around or whatever, and in that way resolving whatever issues come up. I feel like this is a significant, it's a sign, basically. Wow. Lots of weird energy coming through right now. So I feel like this is a sign that, eventually the resolution will be peaceful, so you'll have peace of mind. But it's also a message to remember to stay peaceful no matter what's going on around you, because if you can stay in your center and you can stay peaceful, that's going to help any other energies that's going around. Be the calm in the storm, don't be the storm. And the last card that came out is making new friends. So I feel like this is kind of related also to these two cards that were in the beginning of your 7 days, which are celebrating and the Knight of Pentacles. I picked up on this being someone new in your life, or just someone that's in your life who you haven't really kind of connected with in a while, or something like that. I feel like you'll probably be going out somewhere and meet some new people who are, like soul family, and just maybe, looking at expanding your current social group too. Maybe it's time to meet some more people and have some different energies come in, so that we will bounce off each other, right? If you're always around the same people and those people are starting to drag you down, or you just need a change, people don't need to necessarily be the reason that you're being dragged down. But I feel like for this group specifically, it's just saying expand your friends, your circle of friends, your social circle, because there's something there, there's something more there that you might miss out on if you don't. Just trying to see if there's anything else that needs to come through. That was a huge channel, by the way. There was a lot coming out. I think that's why my mouth and my brain was stopped working for a little bit. That's just me though, that's how I work. So yeah, I don't think there's any other messages for you guys. I hope that this is helpful. I hope this gives you a heads up for any potential issues, and that you kind of know when it happens not to get too triggered and just to stay in your own peace, and understand that there will be a, you know, there's a peaceful resolution that you can come to, and it might just take a little bit of integrating who you are now as opposed to who you used to be. That is it for you guys. Don't, as I said before, don't forget to like the reading. The more likes I get on YouTube, the more people can see this, and my whole point is that I want to be able to help help bring light and healing to the rest of the world, or to the world in a much bigger way than like the 3 or 4 people who are watching these readings. So, you know, thumbs up, comments, all of those things, they help spread the word, right? And other than that, I will see you next week, hopefully, or maybe over on Facebook. I'm planning on doing some lives over there as well. So thank you very much. Catch you next time. Hey guys, Alvi here. This is Group 2's reading. So if you chose Dalmatian Jasper, then this reading is for you. I hope I got that right. Group 2 or Group 3? I don't know, but I will fix it in the video. I'll make sure that it's the right group. I'm in a very weird energy this morning, so things are a bit kind of that's the only way I can describe it, so you know. Alright, so for you guys, the first card that comes up in the Norman card is the Clover. So this is pointing at lucky things, you know, being lucky, winning things, just being fortunate, things coming to you with ease. The next card you have is the King of Swords. So I feel like you're kind of a little bit detached from it, right? Then that's probably a good thing, because when you're manifesting or when you're receiving, if you've got too much pardon me, emotions, as I said in another video, when I'm burping, it means that I'm channeling, so excuse me, but that's sort of how our energy works through my body sometimes, or I'm sighing, or I'm yawning, or running nosed. And the next card you have is the Hermit. Okay, so there's some masculine energy. That doesn't mean a male person necessarily, but there's some strong masculine energy coming through in this message. And these 3 cards that were your pile are sort of like the underlying energy of your next 7 days. So I feel like, wow, they almost look like the same person on these cards. You can see, you know, that it's a mature kind of attitude. It's like there's a certain element of coldness, but it's not like completely freezing you out. It's this kind of like detachment, but it's compassionate detachment, because they've learned, whoever this is, whether it's you or someone else, has kind of learned to manage their emotions around things. So and then we have the Hermit, and I can almost see, like, you can see the clover here as well, and both cards is kind of a clovery looking plant, right? So I feel like this is kind of like a message about staying balanced in your emotions, and not, or maybe even mastering the emotional roller coaster that we can often go on, as far as receiving, giving and receiving, or being lucky, because sometimes you start second guessing yourself and you're like, I can't believe this has happened, and as soon as you say that, the universe is like, oh shit, they don't believe it, we better take it away. It's kind of like, you know, watch your words. Let's have a look here. And the Hermit is sort of So retreating to your own kind of energy. I'm going to pull some cards and see what else comes through. I do see that you are, you know, you're in for receiving some good luck here. Okay. As I pulled the King of Swords, or turned the King of Swords over, I kind of felt like this is someone who's coming into your life, as far as a relationship perhaps, or a wise counsel or something like that. It's like someone who's going to kind of help you temper. My guys just said that mania that you get when you're spiritually awakening and you finally realize like how you can manifest things, and you kind of get a bit too high sometimes with it. It's all a bit exciting. So there's someone who's going to be a grounding, or you know, you're finding that energy within you that's a grounding energy, that's a grounding, has a grounding effect on you, so that you aren't too high and you're not too low, but you're just balanced. And it's wisdom that comes with experience. All right, can I get some messages for group 2, please? Group 2. I'm kind of looking at the King of Swords and I'm seeing like there's a lot of nature here, sort of, you know, we've got plants in both the clover and the hermit, and also on this one, like you can see that he's in nature. He's around, surrounded by animals and mountains and wildflowers and things like that. So I feel like some of you guys, some of this group, nature and plants and animals play a very significant role in your life, or will do. You may have spirit animals around you at the moment. The number 2 or 6 might be significant as well, or 26. So you can have a look at the angel number messages, you know, Google angel number message number 26 and see what your message is, and leave it in the comments if you like, because someone else might resonate with it too. And it's just, you know, I'll read it, I'll see your comment, and I'm just curious to see what comes up, you know. Angel number messages are always great as far as I'm concerned, and it might give you some guidance as well. So messages for group 2. All right, finally we get some cards up. So we have the 4 of Pentacles reversed. We have the Page of Cups. Ooh, head over heels, huh? Or heels over head, actually. The Page of Cups. Let's have a looky here. More messages for group 2. Oh, geez. They're going everywhere today. My shuffling is... You would think after 20 odd years of reading tarot I'd be able to shuffle, but I just can't. I don't know why, but I just can't. I'm a clumsy bum. Alright, there we go. There's one. Next message, King of Pentacles. Yeah, wow. There's a lot of sort of like very strong masculine energy around, and I feel like this might be someone that you have a crush on, or someone you might be meeting as far as a romantic partner. That's just for some of you though. Some of you, as I said, it might be your masculine energy, your masculine side that's coming through and kind of helping you master that balance between the masculine and the feminine energy that we all have within us. Finding some balance, because I'm seeing, like with this card specifically, and what my guides just said to me before about the mania that comes with a spiritual awakening, or you know, sometimes we have like shifts and collective energy that just, you know, some people just go crazy on it, or a kundalini awakening that can set you off and make you a bit happy, right? And this is sort of, you know, like the card of falling in love, the card of being so enamored by someone that you're looking at their feet, but you're still kind of in love with them. And it's got like a little pig, a flying pig next to those feet. So it's kind of like, that confusion, not confusion, but when you're in love, you kind of, you're not really on the planet, and that's not a bad thing, but I think sometimes we need that sobering energy to come in and kind of ground us down so that we don't get too crazy and go and do something silly. So let's have some more messages for group 2. All right, here we go. We have the 6 of Cups. So reminiscing, or people from the past coming back around. It's also this card, this sort of like remembering innocence, remembering that love, and in its purest form is just like a very kind of pure, innocent emotion, and all of the constructs that we, surround it with as humans, like ownership and marriage and all, these things. Like, there's nothing wrong with marriage, but if it's possessive and restrictive, then it's not a good thing. And this card is kind of, it calls back that energy of remembering that, love is just love. It's not anything else. All of the other things that we think of when we think of love, mostly are just constructs or ideas that humans have created around love. I don't know why this is such an important message, but I guess we'll find out as we go on with the cards. So any more cards coming up? Any messages? Any messages for group 2? There we go. There's a couple more, and I think that's all of the cards that we need to pull for your next 7 days. So we've got the 9 of Wands, the High Priestess, lots of intuitive energy coming through as well. Alright, so what I am actually feeling, just with the messages that have come through so far and seeing the High Priestess as well, is that I feel like for some of you, probably most of you in this group, there'll be a situation where maybe your psychic abilities or your latent psychic abilities are being activated or reactivated, or in some way you are tapping into that energy world, that world that makes us more than just the physical. And you will be getting messages as well, I think, and using your intuition a lot more, or learning to use your intuition a lot more. The last card, which I forgot to show you because I was talking and channeling, is the 3 of Pentacles. So it's come up in the reverse, but we'll get to that. So beginning of this, for these 7 days, we're looking at holding on to something too tightly. I feel like with this specific reading, this is more about emotions than it is about money, which is what Pentacles is about, usually finances, business, all of that stuff. But this card here, she's holding on to things very tightly here, like, this is mine, I'm not letting it go. This is really important to me and you can't have it, kind of thing. But because it's in the reverse, I kind of feel like this might be, for one thing, it might be a subconscious behavior, and I feel like this is why I was kind of guided to channel out that message about the purity of love and all of the things that we make up about love that aren't actually real. I feel like there's like this kind of, I can't think what the word is. I'm getting the word possessive feeling, but I feel like it's maybe something that you're kind of not really even aware of. Like, you feel like there's someone in your life who's meant to be with you, right? But it kind of hovers in the back of your mind rather than, up front. I'm also getting with that kind of twin flame haunting feeling when you have someone else's energy around you all the time. And maybe you're trying to let go of it, but it's actually really hard because their energy is coming into you. So you're kind of acting with it in the energy world, which can also create this kind of mania as well. soul connections are like that. It's crazy stuff. It takes a long time to kind of work it out. And, you know, like I've been on the twin flame journey. I don't really like that term anymore, but since 2016, I think was when I was conscious, when I consciously came to that, and I'm still learning. Like there's still more stuff and more experiences to have and more understandings to come to about soul connections and things like that. And yeah, it's it's definitely a process, let's put it that way. So I'm kind of getting, for some of you, this might be somebody who you were you are in a connection with, possibly energetically in a connection with, but not physically. Or it might be that, you know, you kind of have this unrequited love thing going on, although I feel like this is a return of somebody who has, you know, you had a connection with, whether that be energetically or physically. This energy is hanging around you. It's kind of giving you that, you know, the love feeling, the I'm in love feeling, that mania. You feel very lucky because of it, I think, as well. But the guidance here, right, is to remain balanced and not to let it throw you too far one way or the other. And that's part of that, learning how to manage soul connections and heart to heart connections, is to not let it get to the point where that's all your life is about. Although sometimes, you know, that's part of the process as well. But this particular reading, asking you to find balance within that so that you're still living your life and you're not waiting, holding on to things, secretly holding on to things, or maybe trying to let go and just not succeeding. The detachment process can be quite lengthy and difficult in these kind of situations. I'm just going to read a little further along. And you'll notice that I don't read about or talk about or channel about twin flames in the way that most other people would, because of my experiences, right? And everybody has their own experiences, but I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there about, you know, there's only one person that you can have this kind of high level, which is not a word I like to use, but, you know, expanded experience, love experience with, and that you should wait for them and, you know, never have another relationship and all of this sort of stuff, which is really limiting and it's really not true. So, you know, I'm sorry if that upsets somebody, but, you know, 100% don't wait. Go out and date, go out and meet other people, and just, you know, follow your process as it comes, but don't make it a big deal. And after that, wow. All right, so there's someone hanging around, or some energy hanging around, that you're kind of, I feel like it's indecision. It's like you want to let go, but you don't really know how. Or sometimes they come back around, whether it be physically or energetically, and you feel them, and you know, you let them back in, or there is someone coming back in, and you feel a bit head over heels about it. But you're being asked again to temper that with, you know, with balance, with grounding. Find that masculine energy that helps you ground, or, you know, ground into the earth, the Mother Earth. You've got the King of Pentacles for the next, you know, for like the mid sort of 7 days, the middle of the 7 days, the King of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. This message might be specific for some of you, but I feel like I feel like this is actually talking about someone else in your life who isn't letting you go, and they're kind of like really into you, right? They're into you and they've been waiting, and they're making a comeback in your life, but I feel like they're making a comeback in your life in a far more balanced way than they did before. Like, again, it's part of the process of these kind of connections. Sometimes you've got to go into separation so that you can, you know, upgrade yourself and learn and all of that sort of stuff and heal, and then you come back together. So for some of you, definitely there's someone who's going to be coming around, and, you know, Mercury retrograde, it's sort of like the milkshake song. It brings all my exes to the yard. So, it's up to you whether you choose to let this person come back into your life, or choose to just go very slowly with them and find out who they are. um Energetically, I would say just stay in your own lane, right? Don't entertain that energy, because the more that you do, the more you become entwined, and the harder it is to actually let go at the end of it. um and yeah, so as I'm saying this, I'm seeing this card here, the Nine of Wands. um I feel like this is sort of, like she's built a fence. There's a fence here. It's a boundary. It's like you don't come past here. um so perhaps this is a relationship or connection that is coming back around. um but you have better boundaries now. You have more understanding of what you will and won't accept. um and you are contemplating and following your intuition more than you are going to just go with, the craziness, right? The craziness. And if you're in one of these connections, you'll know what I mean. It's like a freight train with no brakes. You can't fucking stop it. Sometimes it feels like that anyway. It's just like, yeah. The energy is overwhelming. Then your heart feels pulled to them, and you feel so, like, I don't know, crazy in love, right? There goes Beyonce in my head, and I don't even listen to that kind of music. I know that song very well. So yeah, I feel like towards the end of the week there might be someone reaching out, or you're just sort of revisiting if this isn't a connection, if that story, that particular channel doesn't resonate with you. I feel like you're kind of finding your footing and understanding the idea behind, the difference between what love is and what we are, what we have made up in human society, and what works for you. And in that way, you're coming up with some boundaries, or you will be coming up with some boundaries, as far as love is concerned. Maybe healing, maybe understanding that, you can't give 100% to someone who's not giving back to you, and turning around and, bringing that love back to yourself. The High Priestess. So yeah, this is all a process, right? As I've said about 6 times in this reading, it's all a process to bring you back to yourself. And when you bring yourself back to, like, when you heal, when you have a heart-centered connection, when you have a heart-centered, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, when you're having these expansive kind of soul connection type things happening with your, like, in your life, most of the reason is that you are learning they activate your latent psychic abilities, right? So clairsentience, clairaudience, even empathy. I call it heart-centered consciousness, which is like expanded consciousness that comes through an activated heart center. I won't go too much into that because I can talk about it for years, but and it's sort of like you go through this process where you learn all of this stuff. You learn how to use all these abilities that we all have, but a lot of the time we are so programmed to discount our intuition, or discount the fact that we heard a little voice say don't go there, and then there was an accident or something, like that. I feel like you're sort of stepping more into your high priestess, into your higher self, and you're allowing that to be your guiding light in this situation, whether it's a connection or whether it's just you going through the process of learning about these kind of connections, because maybe you had a catalyst, which is like a short burst connection that just showed you, like, where God was, basically. So I feel like you're stepping right into this energy, and that often means, like, you're not cooperating with the world anymore. You're kind of just doing your own thing, right? So Three of Pentacles is usually about, working together with other people, but I feel like when you are stepping into your higher self, and when you're learning about this stuff, it's going on your own guidance. It's knowing what your heart is saying is right for you, and not letting yourself get kind of pushed around by collective programming, other people's beliefs. And even that, like, even beliefs in the spiritual community, don't let yourself get pushed around by those either, okay? It's up to you what you do, and how it works for you. Now, I feel like that's probably enough messages today. I really hadn't intended to do what feels like a twin flame reading, but I hope that you got some messages out of that. I'm going to pull a couple of oracle cards, and that will be the end of the reading. That's what I've been doing, a big channel. Big yawn, sigh. Got that all out. Oh, there we go. Messages for group 2, please. Oh. Okay, what have we got here? New opportunity. All right. And what else have we here? I can't even reach it. I can't reach it. Creative expression. Beautiful. So lovely. Oh, there goes my runny nose as well. Really channeling now. Excuse me. And one more card for group 2, please. Moving forward fearlessly. Okay, so like I said, for some of you, this is about letting go of something. It might be a connection, it might be of connecting with other people's energies. I feel like also for some of you that there's someone else who's like kind of hanging on to you as well. And as I said, for some of you, this person might come back, this connection might come back around, but in a more mature way. So that might happen. This is only a trajectory, right? So everybody's got free will. Don't write yourself a nice little story about somebody who hasn't talked to you for 4 years, because it's just not how it works. Well, sometimes it can. Anything's possible, but the less you lie to yourself, or the less you kind of have unrealistic expectations, the better it is, honestly. So I feel like for some of you, this new opportunity is talking about this connection. And for some of you, it's just talking about how you're finding, while you're in this expanded higher priestess energy, new opportunities to express yourself creatively, and that is giving you this energy of moving forward fearlessly, so you're able to actually let go, because a big part of this soul connection thing is being able to live in your own sovereignty, and that is actually what creates union, and how union continues is that you're not codependent. You need to heal from codependency, and I feel like a lot of you are going to be moving forward from that. You're going to be healing from that. So hopefully that's a helpful message. Let me know your angel number message in the comments, or give me a like if you like the reading. And I will catch you guys next time. Hey guys, Alvi here with Group 3's reading from the next 7 days pick a card that I posted on Facebook and Instagram and here on YouTube. So this is for you if you chose the Snowflake Obsidian. It's a beautiful little stone. It's got a real magic feeling to it, that one. And I think it's meant to anyway. Alright, so let's get on with the cards. So from your pile, the first thing that came up is the Lenormand card of the child. So I'm thinking about like inner child, or maybe your child. It just talks about innocence, you know, sweetness, all of that sort of stuff. I'm going to pull up the next one. We have the Seven of Swords in reverse. And we have, what's this? This is a beautiful card. This is the World card. Wow, it's a beautiful, beautiful card. So what I'm seeing here is that that's interesting. I'm just trying to get a little message to come through for me. So the Seven of Swords talks about, when it's in the upright position, it talks about sneaking away, right? Someone who's trying to get away with something, someone who's trying to, you know, maybe pull the wool over your eyes, or maybe even yourself trying to pull the wool over your eyes, or lying to yourself, or you know, just kind of avoiding things that would be better dealt with. But because it is in the reversed position and it's kind of facing towards this child, I feel like for some of you, this message, this is sort of like these cards will give you the overall message or the underlying energy of the rest of the cards that I'm going to pull and the rest of the messages that you'll hear. So I feel like there's some kind of situation here where you are turning around, or there's a situation that sort of seemed like subterfuge, like someone was trying to pull the wool over your eyes, or even you were trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Maybe you felt like someone was taking advantage of your kind of innocence. But it's turning around. It's sort of like it's resolving itself. Also, another message that's coming through here is like, by turning back towards your innocence, you're working through some things with your inner child, and this is bringing this beautiful energy of balance and you know, like the completion into your life. Just one moment, I can hear someone at the door. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, so what we're looking at here is, I feel for you guys, it's sort of like, when I put these piles out, I was thinking about shadow work. I was thinking about things that, you know, bringing some things to light perhaps for you that you may have missed, or just, you know, what might be lurking around in your subconscious that might need a little attention and love. So this is definitely coming up with that kind of theme. What I'm feeling here is, there's two messages coming through. One is that this is about someone else who you thought was sneaking around and doing something weird, or trying to run away, or, you know, taking advantage of you because they think that you're innocent, or, you know, they think they can, right? And that person has kind of, it's either that they decided that that's not the right thing, you know, like their own morality kind of got to them, and they've turned around and gone, no, that's not right, that's not what I should be doing, and come back to you with this kind of innocence and this kind of I'm sorry apology energy. Or the second kind of thing that's coming through here, if this is somebody else, is that it was like that this is a conditioned thing. This is something like, it's a pattern within you. It's a limiting belief within you that you always think that if someone's acting a little shady, you assume it's you, right? It's something to do with you, or they're trying to sneak away, or they're being shifty, and they've come around and said, no, look, that's not right. That's not what was really happening. There was a mistake. There was a communication issue. There was, you know, let's talk about this kind of thing, and let's go back to how things were, which were sweet and innocent and, you know, well-meaning. But then there's also this other message that I feel is probably for most of you, and that is about how working with your inner child, rather than like ignoring it and pushing it away, is trying to sneak away without actually doing the work, is actually really helped you, and you've integrated, and you're starting to heal, and you're starting to see this like completion of maybe karmic cycles or just cycles in your life. It's bringing this beautiful energy of renewal to you, so that you can start a new cycle. I don't know why my guides just made me forget the word that I was trying to say. Alright, so let's pull some cards for you guys. Group 3. Just going to pull some tarot cards. This is 7-day reading, so we'll pull 7 cards and see what's going on with that. Okay, have we got me? Oh. Wow, I'm channeling hard right now. I can feel myself sweating. It's crazy. My feet are freezing, but the rest of me is just like got this energy going through me. Alright, Judgment. So Judgment is our first card. So this is sort of like the beginning of these 7 days. What was that? Sounds like someone was at the door again. Okay, let's have a look. Any more? More messages messages for group 3. Don't drop on the floor. I'm sick of picking them up. In group 2, I think I dropped about 20 cards on the floor. It was kind of frustrating. So you have the Queen of Wands and the 10 of Wands, which is reversed. Let's have a look. And what else have we got here? Let's have a look. More messages for group 3, please. Already I'm seeing that this Judgment card is confirming the completion of a cycle, the completion of a life phase. Judgment is about putting the past to rest and releasing, you know, into the new, basically. It also asks you to use your judgment, use your better judgment, perhaps. And I feel like this is also saying, yeah, you used the judgment that you used in this situation was right. Okay, more messages. So we have the 4 of Cups, but that's also reversed. Another one. Hierophant. Oh, my nose got itchy. Another sign I'm channeling a lot. Or maybe my hair's just in the way. So we have the Hierophant. And a couple more messages, please, for group 3 of the Snowflake Obsidian. There seems to be a theme going through most of these readings, which is to do with emotional upheaval or healing emotions. So we have the Hangman as well, which is also in reverse. So this is an interesting energy. There's some blocked energies coming through here, but there's also some really good energies coming through here. I feel like the blocked energy or the reversed cards are talking about things that you're yet to work through, or things that you might still need to release just to really fully finish this cycle. I'm just looking to see a couple of the other readings had number synchronicities in them, but I can't actually see any in here. No, nothing. Nothing. Alright, that's cool. So what are we looking at here? I feel like, yeah, just sort of like releasing the past, releasing the judgment of the past. And that kind of goes along with the message that I was getting for some of you, where this is about someone else. It's sort of like releasing that judgment. Perhaps judgment actually caused this person to want to sneak away, or caused you to think that that's what was going on. Judgment can mean so many different things in these contexts, but I feel like it's kind of like letting go of what happened in the past and taking the wisdom, the lessons that you caught with the lessons that you caught, the lessons that you've learned, and the wisdom from those lessons forward with you into like a new phase, right? So a more expanded phase. As you can see, this is like spirit here, so she's releasing it also, kind of, just as I was looking at that and saying that, I got that, you know, let go and let God thing. So it's a little bit like surrender, letting go of control, letting go of trying to control things, because you have better judgment now and you know that some things you cannot control, right? Sometimes it's better just to surrender and trust that things are going to happen the way they should. So I also have for you another message for the beginning of the week, which is the Queen of Wands. And Queen of Wands, she is this energy, and it could be male, you can be male, female, anything, it doesn't really matter. It's a feminine energy of knowing your own power and being so enamored with it. Like, look at her, she's just having the greatest time creating this little sparkle ball on her hand, you know, it's like magic kind of thing. It's sort of like she's exploring her own magic, and that is like where her power lies in a way. She's kind of learnt how to master that fiery energy that comes through with the wands, which can sometimes, you know, like a wildfire can be very dangerous, but this is sort of like a contained fire. So she has more, she has a lot of control over her creative side and her fiery side, and she's using that control to like send light and sparkles and stuff out into the world, as you can see. And you know, sitting in a circle of candles with absolutely no fear. So that's sort of coming through too. I feel like this is kind of talking about, you know, stepping into that new level with no fear and understanding that it's up to you, right? You're the one with the power here. You can create what you want to create, and you don't have to stay stuck in the past. The Ten of Wands reversed. Ooh, that gave me such a heavy feeling. Okay, so it's sort of like this is tying in with the Seven of Swords, the sneaking away kind of energy. It's like, had my bags packed, I was leaving, but then I changed my mind, and now I'm coming back around to deal with this, right? So there's still this energy of dealing with something, finishing something, before you can, you know, take your stuff and go. Or maybe it's like, I feel like it's kind of like releasing that stuff so you don't have to carry that heavy burden. You don't need it. Yak or whatever it is, a bull, a yak, a cow, whatever that is, carrying all these things. You don't need to have that. You don't need the burden of that with you when you move forward. You can just leave and take yourself because you've released all of that baggage. And the reason that you have released all of that baggage, Queen of Wands and this one, just releasing it, letting it go. I feel like this is sort of talking about how you've been working through integrating a lot of shadow and working with the inner child, and, you know, reparenting. There's a lot of things that go into this kind of work, but this is definitely talking about doing shadow work and feeling and finding that place where you're able to trust and focus on things that create rather than focus on things that are in the shadow. So what do we have here? The Four of Cups. This is coming towards the end of the 7 days. If I said a week, I'm sorry. I usually do this as a weekly thing, but now I'm trying to do it as a timeless reading, so it's just language, so my brain's stuck on it. So we have the Four of Cups reversed. So I feel like also with the Four of Cups reversed, this is kind of saying you're losing that complacency that you had before because you felt stuck, right? You weren't quite sure what to do with this energy, and you were focusing perhaps on these cups, these empty cups that have nothing in them, whereas reversed, you're kind of like noticing, seeing and understanding that there is still other cups out there, right? As I'm saying that, I'm thinking, you know, it could be that you are planning on leaving a situation. I don't know what kind of situation that is. I'm not going to read into that because this is only a short reading. But yeah, so you've been looking at something in your life, a situation, a connection, where all you can see is the empty cups, like what isn't there anymore. You're just looking at the disappointment of life, when behind you, where you're not looking, there's like all this beautiful energy and these new cups that you could fill with your own magic, or, you know, magic of the universe that's there for you to tap into. So this is coming towards the end of the week. Let me have a look here. Yeah, so just working through that in the midweek, you'll find that these things might come up. You know, there'll just be little situations. I don't feel like it's a big thing, and I don't feel like you're going to get triggered or it's going to, you know, derail your trajectory towards this new beginning. But I do feel like there's just those final things to tie up before this cycle completely finishes and you are able to move on. Towards the end of this, I know I said week, didn't I? Whoops. Towards the end of these 7 days, you will find, I feel like this is talking about sort of like a very big uplift in your energy. Maybe you'll find you're more connected with source or with your higher self, and when you're in that connection again, you find you have more trust, you have less worry or fear about moving or doing things that you need to do or finishing things. You're just like, yeah, I know that this is the right energy because this is coming from, you know, another place. It's coming from the energy, not from my shadows. It's coming from my soul, not from my shadows. um Something else coming through here, but I'm not quite picking it up. What else is coming through here? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like focusing on that too, if as these things come up, like focusing on connecting with your soul, connecting, meditating, connecting with source energy, raising your vibration, all of those things, and just falling into trust and faith are going to help you get through um, that particular little period there. And I'm sure that you probably already know that, but I feel like this is just kind of open up that stairway to heaven kind of thing a bit more for you, right? And then towards the very, very end of these 7 days, you have the Hanged Man who's in reverse. The Hanged Man in reverse is very interesting energy because when it's up the right way, like that, she's kind of stuck there. She's stuck in a swing. She's upside down. Everything's not really, it doesn't look right because it's upside down, right? And she's like not seeing, or perhaps she is when she's hanged the right way up. The enlightenment's down here. When it's up this way, it's kind of like, oh, I've seen what it is that I need to get past. I don't even know which way this card's meant to be anymore. It's like she can see above her now instead of below her. And when you're looking above, you are led by light. And this, I was saying this before in another reading, when I look at these little squiggles of light, I'm feeling light language, like light language is coming through quite heavily. So I don't know whether you might start dabbling or, you know, investigating light language, or you might have a light language activation. You might have star family or someone come through while you're in this state of, you know, of expansion that can help you learn light language, or you might benefit from, you know, finding someone who does light language activations to help you just get over that little last hurdle and yeah, come fully into this kind of energy here. All right, now I am going to pull a couple of oracle cards, and that will be the end of the reading. Hopefully you guys, you know, like you resonated with this, that it made sense, that you got some guidance and some insight or clarity that you needed from this reading. If you did, please leave me a like, leave me a comment. Everything helps, and I'm trying to get to the point where I'm like able to help more people in the world than, you know, a very few. So the more you like, the more you share, and all that sort of stuff helps a lot. Okay, so let's do oracles. We're going to do fairy oracles. And have we got any messages for group 3? Group 3 messages. Messages for group 3. Ooh, there we go. There's one for you. Trust your intuition. What was I just saying? I love it when when these oracles kind of confirm what just came through in the reading, what I just channeled. So yeah, intuition is going to be huge for you this week. Knowing when and what to do is going to come through to you in intuitive hits, or, you know, gut feelings, or however it works for you, because we've all got different ways of knowing, right? As I was saying that, I kind of looked at the Seven of Swords, and I was thinking, if that message about, you know, it being another person who you thought was trying to sneak away or was trying to get away with something, trust your intuition when it comes to this. and maybe, like, you know, clear your energy before you listen to your intuition over it, because if you've got their energy all tangled up in yours, it's going to be very difficult to kind of, again, reach the actual light and know the truth. So honoring your true feelings. Okay, so honoring your true feelings. This is, I feel, related to the Ten of Wands and Four of Cups in reverse, which are talking about feeling. I still feel like there's a bit of disappointment coming through with you for this group, and I feel like by honoring your true feelings, maybe there's something that you're kind of avoiding, you're kind of not looking at still, and that little thing that is going to kind of thread everything together and allow you to move to your next level. So yeah, spending time by yourself. I'm feeling water again. I'm saying again because group 1, I think, was very water oriented. There was a lot of water in it. So last message for group 3, please. Can we have one last message for group 3? Creative expression. Okay, this one came up in another reading as well, but I can't remember which one. I think it was 2. So group 2, it might have something for you. Yeah, and I feel like just tapping into your own inner creative energy is going to really help you, because intuition and creative energy and imagination and stuff, they're all very closely linked. A lot of the time when you start to work with your psychic abilities, you'll feel like you're imagining it. It will feel like imagination. And I feel like this is something that I kind of need to say here, is that if you're working with that and you start feeling like it's imagination, you really have to check in with yourself, because it might not be, right? So trusting your intuition and being creative, however you are creative, because there's so many different ways to be creative, is really going to help you to find your true feelings and to find the truth about the situation that you're in, and unlock that that next level, that healing, that release, and, you know, the world. So finishing this cycle that you've been in for a while, and then allowing renewal and a new phase of life to come in for you. Okay, so that is the end. Don't forget to give me a like if you like my reading, please. And I will see you next time, hopefully. And thanks for watching. Bye.